How is everybody?
Yeah,
Yeah,
doing very well, madam. Yourself.
I'm fine, thank you.
Good to hear.
Okay. Um, let's wait for some few minutes to start. All right. I think we can start now. Before we discuss today's topic, I want us to look back to last week's topic and remember that I gave you two assignments on that, and there is one that I said you would do on a reading comprehension passage. Last week we looked at the concept of reading and comprehension. And we learned that it is one thing reading and another thing comprehending what you read or what you read. So if you are not careful, you can read a text all right, but you wouldn't be able to respond to the questions at the end of the day. And when it happens, it means that there are so many factors that contributed to a reader's inability to respond to the questions. So you need to ask yourself the following questions: that where is your state of mind? At the time you were reading the passage, where was your mind? Can you hear me?
yes, madam.
Yes. Where was your mind? What is the state of your mind? Is your mind divided, or is your mind solely on the passage that you are reading? If you have a divided attention, it can influence your responses to the questions. And again, which environment did you set to answer the questions? Which environment did you set to learn? The environment you set to study has influence on your understanding or you not understanding what you do. The environment you set to learn has influence on your success at the end of the day, or the opposite. About the passage that you've been given to read and respond to, is there a passage which is familiar to you? Because if it is a foreign passage, a passage that's new to you, you don't understand the whole thing, because the things that the passage talks about is new, is foreign to you. You cannot relate it to the things that you know, or you cannot relate it to your previous experiences. That that could also influence your understanding and performance. So before one is unable to respond to comprehension questions, these are some of the factors that could influence the person's performance. So you ask yourself and you find answers to those questions before you even start the passage. And I can remember I gave you assignments on the types of reading comprehension, the global, the inferential, and the others, as well as reading faults, yes, regression, extremely slow reading, vocalization, and the other ones. So you have to make sure that you have done these assignments. And I'll post one on the passage for you so that you use the SQ4R technique that we learned last week to help you answer the questions on the passage. You respond to the passage individually. It's an individual work. So take notes. It's an individual work. When I give you work to do and I say it is individual work, do it individually. Don't consult anybody. Do it alone. And at the end of the day, it will help you to know yourself better. The responses, the feedback you give at the end of the day will help you to evaluate yourself. You know yourself better. You know your performance and you understand yourself. And that will help you to also know how to move on and what you need to do to shape yourself or to make you a better person. So do it alone. Don't consult anybody. When I want you to do it as a group, I'll tell you to do it collectively. There are reasons I tell you to do it alone and I tell you to work collectively. So today, if you look on the models, we have to discuss fundamentals of public speaking. Fundamentals of public speaking. This is one of the relevant topics that we need to discuss here. Fundamentals and practice of public speaking. Knowingly or unknowingly, at a point in life, we engage in public speaking, where we speak to the crowd, where we speak to the public. And those of you in organizations, you do public speaking. Sometimes you are given assignments to do, you are given research work to do, you are given a task to do, and at the end of the day, you let the organization get the findings, or you tell them the feedback regarding the research or the task they give you. Once you organize yourself and give the information back to them, it's a kind of public speaking because you share your findings to the organization, to the team. And you need the skills. You need the skills to be able to do it right. You need the skills to be able to capture your audience attention and give them the information. You need the skills that will enable you to persuade or convince your audience. So it is an important topic to pay attention to. If you have questions, you raise your hands and then you ask your questions. If you have any contribution to and experiences on the field to also share, you raise your hand and you're given the chance to share your experiences, share your contributions, and ask your questions, as we always do. So this is our presentation outline introduction to public speaking. We also look at the formal work and outline. Then how to plan and organize your activities, making yourself ready for public speaking and the types of public speaking. We have so many, but we'll restrict ourselves to two. And then we ask ourselves whether it is important at all to engage yourself in this type of activity. Then we draw a conclusion and we look at few references. So our objective for this Saturday is to define the concept of public speaking, discuss the planning and organizing activities for public speaking. This one will be interactive, and then we explain the informative and persuasive speaking, and then we explain the importance of public speaking. I always say that definition of concept is important. You cannot talk about public speaking where you don't have an overview or an idea, or you cannot explain the main concept to your listeners or to your audience. It tells you the importance of definition. And definition concept is one of the organizational patterns that we use, whether in written discourse or whether you are using the oral or the verbal approach. Defining your concept and letting your audience or your readers or your listeners understanding the concept is very important. That is why almost every day we try to understand the concept first, then what follows, we look at them. So this is a form of communication. And when we look back to last semester's work on communication skills 1, where we looked at the concept of communication, we learned that the communication business, if you want to successfully communicate and let your listeners or your audience follow, understand, and get interested in what you're doing, then you need to systematically organize and process the information you feed them. You can't do it anyhow. Communication is a systematic process. You need to get the information that you want to pass on to your audience, that you want to pass on to your readers or your listeners. You need to make them well organized. And then, because it's a process, you need to know where to start and where to end. And if you can go back to the communication skills 1 on the concept of communication or overview of communication, where we have our communication process diagram. The diagram and how the elements have been arranged from the beginning to the end, which is the feedback, where the recipient also sends feedback to the source or the sender. That tells you that indeed communication process or the business of communication is systematic and it is a process. It moves from one stage to the other. So if you don't follow the process well, you're not going to get any effective job done. But when you sit down, you arrange and you process it well from one source to the other to the final source or stage, then your audience will understand you and appreciate what you are doing. And that will also make them get involved because they understand you. So whether you are using signs and symbols, for example, you are communicating to the deaf and the dumb, society, or group of persons, you need to also make sure that those signs and symbols are meaningful and they will be understood by your interlocutor or the persons that you have engaged in the communication business with. So whether you are using words, whether you are using signs and symbols, whichever approach you take, the words, the symbols, the signs should be meaningful so that it will make meaning to your audience or listeners. So the public speaking acts should be mastered. The skills involved should be mastered by the practitioners so that they can deliver the message successfully. This public speaking act is part of our lives. It's a daily thing that we do, consciously or unconsciously. We communicate and we find ourselves involved in this business of public speaking. And if you don't do it at all, once you have enrolled in this institution and at the end of the day, you're going to write a project, you're going to submit a project to the institution, to the institution, yes, definitely you will work, you pick a research topic, you conduct a research, and when you are ready, you share your findings to the institution, to the whole university community. At that point, you see that, or you appreciate the importance of learning this topic on public speaking. Because you stand in front of the university community or the institution, the panels, the members, your friends, and then you tell us what you found, what you have to share with us regarding the research that you conducted. So if you, it needs a lot of preparation. It needs a lot of preparation. It will take your time and energy. So you start early so that you end well and you also end on time. Look at this image. What do you see? And what can you say about the image? And you need to also connect what we learned last semester on climate, the atmosphere. I said that when we talk about the climate in communication, we are not talking about the weather, whether it will rain today or whether it will be sunny today. No, but we are also talking about the environment where the communication takes place, where the communication is going on, where the public speaking is going on, where it is taking place, what is the climate, what is the atmosphere, how is the environment contributing to a successful communication. So what can you say looking at the image here? What can you say about the audience? What can you say about the woman, the speaker? What can you say about the climate? What can you say about the environment? Tell us. Raise your hand and then tell us. Yes, Gabriel. Gabriel, go ahead.
So I would say this is a public speaking or someone delivering a message to the audience.
Yes,
It could
and
be
what can you say
information
about
the
what can you
audience.
say about the audience? Yes.
They've paid attention. They are all like looking up to the speaker, listening attentively.
How did you know that they are listening attentively? Because you know that when we talked last semester about non-listening forms of non-listening skills, we got to know that the pseudo listeners, they'll look at you closely. They'll be nodding, showing signs that they are with you. Unfortunately, they would be pretending. So how would you know? What are some of the strategies that will let you know that indeed the audience are listening attentively and they are in line with the speaker? How would you know? What are some of the strategies to test that they are listening attentively and they are following the speaker? Because some people could fake. They'll be looking at you. So you may think as a speaker that your audience are with you, but because of pseudo listeners, how would you know? Festus. Festus.
Okay, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, one of the strategies to know whether your audience are with you or not, at times they are body gestures, and then at times you can put in a question, then to know whether they are their attention is on you or not.
Okay. So what hold on. What is it about the
so please, in
question
conclusion, though,
that will Hello?
hello, madam.
Hello? I said, what's it
Yeah,
about the
madam, please, can you
question,
hear
the
me?
feedback? Hold on. What's it about the question? What's it about the question that will make you know that they are in line with you or they are following the discussion?
Okay, madam, the feedback that probably they will give it to you in return of the question will indicate
Okay.
whether they are with you or not.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
What else? Any other? Look at the image. What do you see? What can you say? What do you see? What can you say about the image? Elsie, Azembre, Elsie.
Yes, madam.
Yes. What can you say about the image?
So I also think they are paying attention, although we can't really tell who is just or really paying attention. But if you look at the picture, that is the first information that is coming across, that they are listening to whatever the speaker is saying to them.
Okay, but yes, they are paying attention. That is what you see. That is what their posture tells you. But because some audience, some of them could fake whatever they are doing, you need to employ other strategies to test whether they are really paying attention. Hello?
Yes, madam.
Yes, otherwise you'll be disappointed that they are not paying attention. Their mind even may not be on the speaker and the content or whatever is taking place at that moment. So if you look at their posture and you think that, or you tell us that, oh, they are attentive, they are this, it could be the opposite. So you use some strategies to check whether you are not wasting your time standing in front of them and giving them the information. For example, you can ask, what did I say? You can throw questions to them, and as Festus said, the feedback they give could tell you whether they are really paying attention or not. But if you look at their posture and the environment, sometimes it could be deceptive. Do you understand me?
Yes, madam.
Yes. Okay. Aaron, go ahead.
Oh, yes, mommy. Please, can I see that she's giving eye contact and body language as the speaker? This one.
Eye contact with who?
To the listeners, please, the public.
Okay. So eye contact is very important. When you engage your audience or listeners, your eye contact says a lot. It tells them that you are with them. And through that too, you'll be able to identify some good things and some bad things going on. You'll be able to even identify audience who have issues, audience who do not understand you at a point. Yes, looking at their faces and eye contact is a good thing to do as a speaker. Yes, as a speaker. It's a good thing to do. And I have this experience to share. Some time ago back in school, a lecturer was teaching us. The concept was on English sounds. And at a point, she could read from my face and one other lady's face that we were not understanding what she was telling us. We were 5 in class on that program, 3 males and 2 females. So she said, Gifty, I could see it from your face. So if she had not engaged her eyes whilst teaching and was maybe talking, teaching, and looking only on the projector or elsewhere, she wouldn't have been able to identify or pinpoint us that we were not following or we were not understanding her because of our facial expressions. Yes, and we told her that, yeah. And even if she had not, we would have, asked questions or asked her to repeat certain portions of the lecture for us to understand her better. So these are some of the strategies that we need to learn so that we can use to engage both the speaker and the audience. All right, Christian, Adam, let's move on.
Madam, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please, looking at the picture, I can see that the environment is not all that tense. I can see that from the woman's facial expression, the environment is not tense for the audience. So I can see that everybody is paying attention, enjoying what the lady is actually saying from the expression of the woman's face.
Okay. All right, that's your view. All right, thank you. So pay attention to what these scholars say. Mohan and Bernardi, they let us know, or they tell us that public speaking is not an inborn talent, but it's a set of skills that one acquires through persistent efforts. Nobody is born with the skills of public speaking. That tells you that you cannot say that, as for me, I'm not good. As for me, I cannot stand in front of the public to do the presentation. Nobody has the skills. Nobody is born with those skills. That is what the scholars say, and I agree with them. Nobody. So it's a matter of practicing. It's a matter of telling yourself that it is about time I also practice and then stand in front of the public, stand in front of the class, and also do a presentation. My observation is that sometimes when you give students a group work, for them to work on a particular topic and come and present to the whole class, some people sit on the fence. Some people think they have that mentality that they cannot do it. They don't have those skills. Therefore, they will contribute, but on that day, they will never be part of the students that will take control of the slides or the subtopics and also speak to their points to the public or to the class. When are you going to learn the skills? When are you also going to stand and present? What if it is not a group work and you are supposed to do the presentation alone? Will you skip your scores? And even if it's a group work, what lecturers or examiners do is that if you don't contribute, yes, you let everybody know that you didn't do the work. You sat on the fence and you will not be graded. So it is better you practice and get involved, get engaged with the work and learn. Learn to do it because it is not an inborn talent. We all come to this earth to learn how to do it through consistent practice, through efforts, through availing yourself to let others help you. So that is it. Do you have any questions to ask? Do you have any contribution at this point? I want to pause so that you share your experiences, questions, or contributions before we move on. Festus.
Okay. Madam, thank you for the opportunity. Just as the scholar said, no one is born with the ability to speak publicly. Does that also connote that some minutes will be able to do public speaking, looking at their deficiency in the ability to speak? Thank you, madam.
Yes, there should be. They should be able to do it. And they are able to do it. If you don't practice it, how are you? Let me use this example again. You have conducted your research, your project, your final year project. Are you going to tell us that because of that speech deficiency, your inability to speak fluently, you are not going to defend your project to be graded and be able to graduate? So they do. Irrespective of their challenges, they do. And they also practice. Yes, and we have specialists that can take them through to overcome those challenges systematically. It's a process. You cannot overcome those challenges within a day. It takes years. It takes time. It takes energy. It takes effort. It takes consistent practice. So if the problem cannot be completely erased, at least it could be better. And those category of persons will be able to also present publicly and they'll be understood and listeners will also enjoy them. I know one student, one friend who has that issue, yet he's able to present his work. He's able to present his work and he's able to even engage his audience. It's a matter of telling yourself you will do it, telling yourself you are ready, preparation, and then constantly working towards overcoming that problem or challenge. But they do. That is no excuse. They do. They do. And when I believe that when maybe they are presenting, the panels could, pardon them by giving them maybe extra time. So, for example, if I have a presentation to do and the time given to all of us is 20 minutes, maybe they could pardon them and then give them extra time, let's say 25 minutes, for them to be relaxed a bit and not rush and not be too tense, for them to be able to flow and present whatever information they have. So they will and they do. And with time, they become better presenters. Yes. Thank you. So, Gabriel.
Yes, madam. So I wanted to ask, when it comes to like delivering a speech, is confidence more important than knowledge, or it has to be balanced?
If you are not knowledgeable about what you are going to present, or if you have not read from multiple sources to get good information regarding the subject matter, where will you take your confidence to? You will become confident based on your preparation and knowledge scope on the subject matter. If you have not prepared, if you have little information on what you are going to do, that confidence wouldn't be there.
Sometimes you see some people, like we have people that are able to talk in front of,
That
like,
are able to do what?
to speak in front of audience. They have that confidence, but sometimes they
Yes,
don't.
you have that confidence. You are standing in front of the public. You didn't prepare. You have limited knowledge on what you are going to present. So even your audience could even frustrate you with questions because they could see that you didn't prepare or you don't have enough information. And when they do that to you, your confidence level will even drop. So the most important thing is to be knowledgeable on the subject matter through preparation, through reading, and reading from good sources, sources that provide credible information on the subject matter. Then you can add your confidence level and go deliver. First, is it the old hand or the new hand? Is it the old hand I see or the new hand? Festus. All right. So if you have a presentation to make publicly, this one I focus on, let's say you have your research work done, your project completed, and you are going to present at level 400. You are going to present. This is a typical example of your working outline or your presentation outline. So you let us know, or you let your audience know that you talk about your introduction, where you're going to give them a general idea of your topic or your work. You're going to let them know your problem statement. You state the problem because there is a problem before you decided to work on and address that problem. And then you let us know your objectives. And through your objectives, you carve your research questions. And then before you select the topic to work on at level 400 as your project, you need to know that other scholars or researchers have done studies on your topic. It is not a new thing. So for you to conduct a very good research, you need to read on related studies, researches that are related to what you are writing or working on. And then you need to let us know your framework. Which framework is helping you or informing your work or your analysis? When you get to the analysis stage and the discussion stage, you need to have a framework that will guide or inform your analysis. So on your presentation outline, we need to know these things. Your methodology. How are you going to work? What method, what stages are you going to go through from the beginning till the end of your research? Then you have conducted the research. What are your findings? What are the results? What did you find? What information did you find in terms of results that you are discussing, which have similarities to previous researchers' work? And your results, what are the differences in terms of your results, in terms of your findings to the previous researchers' work? So you have selected a topic and you have read so many related studies, and then this is your findings. So can you tell us that your findings are similar to these scholars' findings in terms of their work, their research that they also conducted? And can you also tell us that based on your findings, these scholars didn't find that in their work? So these are the similarities. And these are things that are similar in terms of your research and that of previous researchers' findings. And that tells us the level of your work, how good your work is. Because if you had not worked hard, you wouldn't be able to identify findings that are similar, or you didn't be able to connect or tell us findings that are similar to yours or previous findings that share differences or that have differences to your work. You can only do that based on how extensively you have read. If you haven't read anything, you won't find anything and you won't see anything to even compare similarities and differences to your findings. So it involves a lot of work and you need to start early. And then you let us know your conclusions and then you show to your audience your references, the number of references you use to do your work. And then we talked about planning. You need to plan and you need to organize your activities systematically. So let us systematically discuss the preparation and the activities towards public speaking. So tell me, what do you think are some of the plans, some of the preparations you need to do when you have a public speaking activity to do? When you have been invited to present on a topic to the public at your workplaces, at church, at the mosque, wherever, what are some of the preparations? What do you need to do? What are the plans? All these are done so that you will have a successful presentation. So what do you need to do? Frederica, some people don't talk. Remember, I have your class list. Besides, you are not many. And on the course outline or in the models, it is stated that students need to participate. Students need to get involved in class, whether face-to-face or online. And it is part of your assessment, the 40%. Sometimes you forget. So others don't contribute, others don't say anything, and we close. Next week they will come. They will not raise their hands. They will not ask questions. They will not share experiences, and they will close. And that will affect you because it is part of the assessment that you need to contribute in class. All right, Frederica.
Hello, madam. Please, you need to research properly on what you're about to speak, and also
So
you practice.
the research, what do?
You Google or read books about it, or even seek
Okay.
for opinions from others.
Okay, contact resource persons, contact earlier researchers. Yes. Okay,
Then
thank
you
you.
practice as well.
Yes, you practice what you have to present. If your slides are ready, you practice. Yes, you practice. You practice because you'll be given time to do your presentation and you need to present your work within that time. If you go beyond the time, it affects you. It affects you. So you need to practice all these. What else? Jonathan,
Yes, madam. Good afternoon, madam.
good afternoon.
Please, people, the type of this presentation is supposed to be made before the context, and then how that you are going to frame your sentences and all that. Like knowing the audiences will help you to be able to know the kind of words and then sentences construction in all your presentation. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Knowing your audience. How well do you know your audience? Have you been invited to present to primary school pupils? Have you been invited to speak to university students? Have you been invited to speak to people in a specific organization? Knowing your audience is key here because that will inform you what kind of language to use, how to go about it, and how to do your presentation, what to even show, what to present, what kind of pictures to present, what kind of images to present. Will it be understood by the pupils, by the university students? So you check what kind of audience are you going to present to. You should know your audience before you even start your preparations because that will inform your preparation as well. Thank you. And Enoch.
Okay, good
Enoch.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, I should have as a public speaker, I should have a background knowledge of what you're about to say. I think one of the videos under this concept about Aaron Bravely, you talk about being confident. You have to have confidence about yourself. Sometimes the public speakers, some look down on themselves, like they judge themselves, like how are the audience going to accept who they are? You have to have a background of what you have and rehearse more. You rehearse, you record yourself, you play and listen again. You correct your mistakes and come back to yourself. Thank you.
Very good. Yes, you rehearse. You rehearse. You do rehearsal. You record. You record yourself and play back and identify where you didn't do well. Then you go back and do it better. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Rebecca.
Yes, madam. So please, you'd have to understand the topic you are going to speak about as well. And then you know your audience. And then you define your purpose.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Okay. Okay. Defining your purpose through maybe objectives. Yeah. Kinsley. Enoch, is it a new hand or the old one? Otherwise, put it down. Kinsley.
Madam, please, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Just to add on to what...
When you are called, go ahead. Don't greet again. Go ahead.
Okay, please, madam. Just to add on to what Sister Rebecca just said, you select a purpose. So for you to know whether you are going to speak on entertainment, is it that you are informing them, whether it's an entertainment show, when you are invited to maybe present a speech to a public, you sit down and analyze what you are going to do. Is it in an entertainment form, or is it a religious form? You sit down and you select the purpose and you understand before you can speak in public. Thank you, madam.
Right. Vanessa. Vanessa. I saw a name, Vanessa.
Yes, madam. Okay, madam. So you need to also dress appropriately. You
Yeah,
need
it's
to wear,
part of it.
yes, you need to wear neat or suitable clothing for the occasion.
Okay. Yeah, your outward appearance is also important. So you need to check on that. You should look good and you should look simple. All right. Osman.
Yes, madam.
After that, Sandra. Then we move on. Gabriel. Osman, Sandra, Gabriel. Then we move on. That's okay.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Vanessa have said my point, but I want to add something small. As a public speaker, you have to have confidence. Confidence is very, very necessary and important.
Okay. And we said that if you have not prepared enough, your confidence level will certainly drop. If you are not prepared enough, your confidence level will certainly drop. So preparation is important. All right, Gabriel. Oh, Sandra. Then Gabriel. Then we move on. Sandra.
Yes, madam. Thank you, madam. You also have to be ready for questions. Sometimes before that, you have to think about some of the possible questions, maybe your audience may ask. And then
it's important.
You prepare them down. And also, you have to prepare your mind very well. I would say, if you are that kind of person that feel nervous, especially when you're in the midst of a lot of people, you have to think positively and then know that it's normal to feel nervous. So you have to prepare that one to as well.
Okay.
Thank you, madam.
All right. Who else did I? Gabriel, you have spoken. A lot of hands are here. Let me call Fidaus. After that, Nathaniel. Fidaus, then Nathaniel. Then we move on.
Madam,
Gabriel, you have
please.
spoken, so it's okay. Yeah.
Nice. When giving presentation or when talking to audience, you don't need to look into their eyes. You should avoid eye contact and then look above. Yes, if you are shy, if you don't have the confidence enough to stand in front of them, it would be good to avoid eye contact.
So what do you do if you avoid eye contact?
You just look straight above their head slightly, small, so that, yes, madam.
Okay. Fidaus. Was that Fidaus?
Yes, madam.
Nathaniel.
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Please, my contribution is that when given opportunity to deliver a speech to people, it depends on where the areas or the topic.
Okay.
And then you, the speaker, need to do a research. Let's say the topic given by, let's say something like sanitation. Sanitation is a big challenge in our country.
Okay. The line is
So you, the speaker, and the speaker also need to touch something what they should do, and then they should know what what they are doing, whether it's they should know the right things to do. I think.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. You know the topic is broad, so you break the topic into sub themes and
Thank you,
address
madam.
them. Yeah, right. Thank you. And that's okay. Let me call Aaron, then that's okay. Aaron, talk to us.
Yes, mommy, please, making the slides too cumbersome. Like choice of words are too many on a particular slides. So your choice of words are supposed to be simple and short. Your words are
Okay.
supposed to be simplified. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So in terms of, thank you all. That's a good contribution. In terms of planning and organizing yourself for public speaking, we've said that you need to sit down and do a lot of preparation through reading, through researching, through contacting resource persons, and that will help you get accurate information to pass on to the public. That will help you pass credible information to the public. You are going to feed the public's mind. So you make sure that what you feed them is the right information. And for you to get the right information, you need to get your information from the right sources. So this is an example that I included in this slide. This is the same laptop that I'm using, and you see the number of books there, as well as online information. Maybe one topic. So what you do is that you check the contents of the books here. Let me use these books as an example. You check the content, whether the authors talk about the particular topic and subtopics. So if this person talks about, let's say, public speaking, you read, you check this. This one doesn't talk about public speaking. You put it down. This one talks about it. This one talks about it. This one talks about it. This one also talks about it. So you need to read from the 5 books that talk about public speaking. And what does each author say? What this author say about public speaking may have similarities or differences with what this author say. So you compile all the similarities and then the differences. Then you also add what you also think and what you have also learned. If you sit down and you spend quality time to do that, you see that you get rich information, and that naturally boosts your confidence because you have prepared well and enough preparation. So you are ready to go and address them. So that is what we do. So if you have seen Professor Sechibedu's book in your models, this is the book, Learning and Communicating. Learning and Communicating. This is Kwaji's book. If you have seen that in your models, Kwaji's book, this is English, a tool for communication. Yes, English, a tool for communication. This is Oxford English Writing. This is Applied Technical Writing. All these are good books that when you pick information from, they are credible ones. So you are sure that you are feeding your audience with the right information. It's about planning. It's about preparation. It's about organizing yourself. So These are some of the things that take place before we prepare models, before we prepare slides, before we get ready for presentations. So you know that you are gathering all the information to go and inform the public. So informative public speeches or public speaking. And when you do that, you need to do it well so that you can convince or persuade the people with the information you have. So we have informative public speeches and then persuasive speaking in public. It's about the information you give them and doing things right so that you can persuade them with the information. So you win them, you win the listeners to your side in relation to what you are presenting to them. If you don't do it well and you are not able to convince them, that will be a minus and not a plus there. So, is it important at all to introduce this topic? Let us talk about the importance of public speaking now. You think, and tell the class. I think after that we close. Yeah. What are the significance of this topic? Yes, Crispin.
I think this topic is very important because when you get all the abilities and about public speaking, I think it can end you a career or opportunities.
Yeah, okay, all right. What else? Ramatu? Ramatu?
Yes, please. Please, it helps you to build self-confidence. The more you speak in public, the more confident you become.
Good. Okay, what else? Bohamina? Bohamina?
Madam, also, it helps you improve your communication skills. So you are able to express your thoughts clearly and your opinions clearly and confidently as well.
Okay, through constant practice. Okay, Gabriel? Gabriel,
Yes.
your hand was up.
Yeah, it also develops listening skills because the more you talk, effective speakers also have effective listening techniques. So it improves your listening skills.
Okay. Public speaking improves your listening skills, speaking skills, your confidence level. Okay, Kingsley, then Festus. Kingsley.
Madam, also it helps develop your leadership skills because as a good leader, you should be able to speak fluently in public. Thank you.
Okay, Festus.
Madam, Kingsley has made my point.
Repeat what he said.
Madam, it prepares or builds leaders. He made mention that leaders are supposed to be able to flow frequently in public. Thank you, madam.
All right. Okay. That's okay. Thank you. That's okay. Thank you. So, knowing that public speaking is an important thing to learn and practice so that you can also stand in front of the crowd, stand in front of your audience, and deliver your message to them. You need to practice it. You need to start and get involved when you are asked to work in groups. Start from there. Working in groups. We give you assignments in groups because it's a group work and because you think others will do it. You don't. You don't go and take part. You don't go and talk. You don't go and present anything. Start from there. So you work in your small groups. You come and stand in the class at your organizations. You move to the church and you are improving and you are moving on. So note that, as Mohan and Benaji said, it is not an inborn talent. We all come to practice it and become masters of it. It involves speaking and sharing that information to a large audience. So once you are feeding the public with information, you need to do your research well so that the information you feed the public becomes the right one. And you need to speak to inform and persuade the audience. You need to speak and inform your audience. Then public speaking is important, so everybody needs to give it attention. You need to give it attention and make sure that the information you feed the audience is credible. Kingsley, your hand is up. Festus, your hand is up. What is the issue? Thank you.
Okay, madam, I want to give a live testimony.
Go ahead. Summarize it.
Yes, in summary, as a class, we have individual groups that we join, but there's one lady called Vanessa.
Don't mention people's name. A member of the group.
A member of the group. Oh, thank you, madam. Who at first she thought like she couldn't speak out publicly, but when she was encouraged and gave the opportunity, we realized she did well. So I think it is something that we must all cling to. Thank you.
Okay, you don't mention people's name unless they have allowed you to do that. But most of the time, it's not advisable to mention people's name, especially where you've not sought permission from them to mention their names. All right? So that's it. You have any question to say? Otherwise, this brings us to the end of our class today. You need to go to the LMS. There is assignment there for you on public speaking. Yeah. Visit the LMS and know what is happening there and do it. It is not yet time. I think you have some time. So you can utilize that time by switching to the LMS under public speaking. Go and familiarize yourself with the work there. Thank you. Festus, your hand is up. If it's the old one, then we've closed. Visit the LMS. Look under public speaking, fundamentals and practice of public speaking. Know what is happening there and do the work there. You cannot do it if you've not listened to the video. There is a video you need to listen and then respond to that. Thank you. See you hopefully next week, God willing. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for
madam.
joining. Some students didn't join. Tell them to be part of the class. I see
Yes,
some
madam.
students who couldn't join today. All right.
Madam, can last, hello?
Yeah.
Madam, for the, yeah, I had a misunderstanding with my group members about this one. I want to chip it in small. Our previous concept, our reading fault as obstacles to reading comprehension. The third point, you were saying about something like extremely slowly reading.
About something like
reading
what's
at a
that? Hey,
slower
hold on.
pace.
Hey, hold on. Be clear about something like. If you are not sure, be sure. No, I think, and about something like.
About
What's something
40.
like?
Yes, madam. About
Something like,
reading
I think
fault
those
as
stative
obstacles.
verbs. Hold on, listen to me carefully, please. I think those stative verbs, you don't use it. You have to be sure, which
Yes,
means you are
madam.
even not certain about what you are going to ask. Something like, it's like, those language, don't use it here.
Yes,
Those
madam.
languages and expressions, be clear. What's it about the reading faults?
Okay, madam, it was about extremely slow reading, at reading slow pace. The reader won't get the concept of the text, but someone too was saying some readers read at a slow pace and understand the context of the text. So this thing brought misunderstanding in the group, and I would like you to.
It means that maybe you didn't listen closely. I said that you don't need to be very slow when you are reading. That is why we qualified it. Extremely slow reading isn't a good thing. Extremely slow reading isn't a good thing. I always say that when someone raises the hand to contribute, or when someone is given the opportunity to read or speak, normally I said that don't rush. Don't rush your reading. Don't rush your answers. You need to slow. Because whilst you are reading, we are following and processing what you are telling us, what you are feeding our brains, whether you are giving us the right thing or not. If you do it quickly, harshly, we wouldn't be able to process it. So you need to slow. But don't be too slow, very slow. Extremely slow is also not good, because that will hinder your understanding.
Okay, thank you,
So
madam.
extremely slow one isn't good. But when you are asked to read, Kofi and Nama are going to school, they are going to school. No, you don't have to read like that. You need to slow. That doesn't mean that you need to also be extremely slow. Because whilst you are giving us your answers, whilst you are reading, whilst you are contributing to the class, you don't need to rush what you are saying. You need to slow, because those who are ready and listening, they'll be processing what you are saying. And at the end of the day, they'll ask whether they have understood you or not. But if you rush your contributions you make, if you rush that reading of the text, how are we going to follow and process it? We are here for a purpose, and we are here for a business, and we are here for solutions. And we are here to learn to transform and shape our lives and become better communicators. So you cannot come and rattle, and go. No, we are processing so slow. And you don't have to be very slow, extremely slow to it. Otherwise, people wouldn't follow you. So when we are talking, you need to pay attention and get the right information.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
The 2019 World Champion of Public Speaking. When You hear my name, I want you to go crazy. I want you to get loud. I want you to go, ah!
All right, bye.
Oh my goodness, he's so handsome. So we're going to try it again. I'll introduce myself.
Crispy. Crispy.
Oh, yes, sir.
You are lucky Madam didn't complain.